from the Eagles Nest is back, and I've got someone I wanted to have on here since we first started doing this. I've got also at Eagles head men's basketball coach and head baseball coach Scott Cornett. Coach, how are you?
Hi, Joseph. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, let's just get started here. Do you remember what brought you to this great institution?
Yes, I came here actually to play baseball and basketball in the mid-'80s. Some of my friends were already here from high school, and it was a good school close to home, and I just wanted to come here and play ball with some of my friends and go to school.
Yeah, and look what that turned into. It's turned out very well for you.
Yes.
You know, you played, I think, the toughest position on the diamond, a catcher. What is the most difficult part of being a catcher?
Probably the worst thing about it is all the foul balls that you get and balls in the dirt. You know, you take a lot of, just sharp foul balls, so you hands and knees and, shoulders and stuff, and and a lot of squatting, and it's just it's a drain on your physical body.
Yeah. And for a long time, the catcher being so physically demanding was a reason why the offensive production was not really expected. But then Cal Raleigh, 60 homers with the Mariners. It's like that's crazy.
Yeah, that's unheard of. He definitely definitely had a season. It's unbelievable what he produced last year offensively. I grew up with the Johnny Bench era, so I was used to catchers having high offensive production when Johnny Bench was back there.
Johnny Bench was the best to ever do it.
Yes, sir. I agree.
And that being said, you talked about in my intro to coaching class the time that you caught Jim Abbott. I wanted to talk about that and how much he had more talent with one hand than a lot of pitchers with both. Talk about that for a second.
Jim Abbott was a special human being. Obviously he was born with just with one arm like a stub on his right arm, and he was a left-hand pitcher in the White Sox organization, and he was just a phenomenal athlete and an even better person. He was fun to catch and fun to to just be around, and I have a lot of respect for what he was able to accomplish.
Oh yeah, the no-hitter that he threw certainly, even today, brings chills to most fans, because he was probably doubted his whole life, and he turned it into a major league career, and he was respected, and he got a major league hit. His first major league hit, scored a run. Yeah,
he was a phenomenal athlete. He was all three-sport athlete in high school, and very successful in all three. And just he was amazing to watch him be able to throw and put his hand back in the glove and still be able to field and bunts and line drives back to the mound and stuff. He was special to watch for sure. And like I said, a wonderful human being too.
Oh, that is so awesome. Talk for a minute. Your son Dalton has continued in your footsteps, catching. He went to Lexington. Now he's part of the Bananas, and now he's part of the Firefighters. Talk about Dalton and what he's been able to do.
Well, I'm obviously a very proud father, and we knew from early age that he wanted to be a baseball player. That's what he told me, and we started working at it. He put a lot of time and work into it, and just he had some ability, and his attitude about what he needed to do and needed to learn was good, and he just soaked up the position, soaked up being a baseball player, and he's been very fortunate and has been able to accomplish a lot of good things.
Yeah, I'm sure he's made All-Knot County proud, especially you and Kim. And that being said, what is the most difficult part of managing as a baseball coach?
Baseball is probably I tell everybody all the time, that's probably the hardest sport to just really manage, because you have so little control. You have to always think things through and hope that the scenarios come out the way you have planned them or hope for them to be. And like when I coach basketball, for example, I can decide where the ball goes, and a lot of times who gets the ball, those kind of things. But baseball is totally opposite. You can't decide who's going to bat, what inning they're going to bat, what position, what situation they're going to be in. You can't determine where the ball is going to be hit or anything. So you have less control, and you just have to. You almost have to try to see into the future and hope that this scenario plays out, and that you've prepared yourself to be in the right place at the right time.
You really can't do much beyond putting the names on the lineup and sending it to the umpire, can you?
Yeah, and just a little strategy here on where you decide where you can hit and run or steal bases and those kind of things. And And then, when to change pitchers, that's where the thinking part up, comes to when to change pitchers or not to change pitchers, when to send a pinch hitter up or make a defensive replacement. Again, those kind of things. And you're trying to see into the future what would happen in this scenario. So there's a lot more thinking and planning in it, and whereas like basketball is real reactionary. Right there, you got to adjust right on the fly. With it, baseball, you got to think it through a lot, and just two different totally two different sports to coach for sure.
Yeah. A lot of people may not know this, but you're also the mayor of Pippa Passes. With this winter weather coming down, the snow, what advice would you give people in these conditions?
Well, like anyone else, I would say stay inside unless you have to get out. Please be careful if you do have to travel, or even just getting out, moving around outside of your house and your yard, those kind of things, going down the steps. It's very slick. There's a lot of ice, and temperatures are extremely high. And I would advise people maybe let their faucets drip just a little bit at night so the water won't freeze off. And again, be very, very careful. And if you're fortunate enough and able enough to clean the snow and ice off of your steps and your decks and porches, those kind of things, that's driveways, that's always good. But some of our elderly folks can't do that, so it's a little tougher for them. And they just mostly to be careful and really stay off the roads unless you have to be out somewhere.
Yeah. This current basketball season, I think you and I can agree, just watching Koji Anderson blossom and join the 1,000 point club. Talk about him and the influence he's had as a guard since he's became the starting point guard here.
Koji's been, a big time contributor for 4 years, and he's just super talented. He's very quick, athletic. He's really hard to stay in front of. He's a very good defender. Just plays hard and competes. He's hit some big-time shots for us in his career.
Yeah.
And he's just been a phenomenal player since he's been here. And again, he's a coach's dream. He's going to play hard and compete. And he does things that you can't teach because of his quickness and he's very small, but he's like a little jet out there. So
yeah.
If he was 6'2" or 6'3", I probably wouldn't have him. He'd probably be playing somewhere big time.
Yeah.
Some big school. But very, very good player and a great young man.
Yeah, he's phenomenal, and the rest of the team. It's been kind of an adjustment year, management style year to year. Players come and go. Is that what practice and all that is for? Is to try to figure out your strengths and weaknesses as a team?
It is. We lost a lot of guys. Not make excuses. We lost a lot of guys from last year's club. We lost 2 All-Americans and some very, very big key contributors on top of that. And so it's been a little bit of a rebuilding year, and I think we're just now, to me, honestly, starting to play our best basketball. We've had some injuries too. We lost some key people that hurt our size. We've been very small with some people that we've lost with injuries. And but the guys have adapted, and we've adapted as coaches to trying to figure out best ways to put them in better scenarios and give them an opportunity to be successful. And again, we're at the right time. We're starting to play our best basketball, so we hope we keep it going.
Absolutely. What does success mean to you personally?
Success that's a lot of things to define success. To me, is getting the most and the best out of what you have, doing the best you can with it, and hopefully, for me as a coach, success is seeing these young people develop as players, obviously, but also as human beings and become really good young adults that are ready to go out in the world and be successful. And then you can sit back and look at them. They become good fathers and good husbands, and do things out in their hometowns and communities where they're from. And that's when you really, to me, that's what success is all about. Getting the most and the best you can out of what you got.
Yeah. I remember from the intro to coaching class, your favorite coach of all time is John Wooden.
John Wooden's one of my favorite coaches for sure. He just his style of coaching, and he won, and there's a lot of good lessons. The way John Wooden went about his business was is inspirational because he didn't use bad language. He didn't talk bad to his players. Didn't talk bad to officials. He just was a steady worker, but a very, very stickler for detail, and just got a lot out of his teams. And there's a lot of good coaches I have and a lot of respect for. I like Rick Pitino quite a bit. Totally different style than John Wooden, but again, one of the people that gets the most out of his talent.
Yeah. I think, the coach Wooden and the Pyramid, everyone that coach that was played for Wooden never had a bad thing to say about him. From Bill Walton to Kareem, and the UCLA squad, 72 straight wins. It was really, really remarkable run. Probably a run like that we'll never see in college basketball again, with NIL and coming over and everybody. Now it's becoming me first instead of team first, and across all of college sports, especially. It's, but that's why. Remains to be seen. What is your outlook for the men's basketball team as we get forward and get to near the end here?
Well, like I told them after the first semester, we didn't have a lot of games in January. We've had a lot of time to work throughout the month of January. So we sort of like a boot camp. We went right back to some of our basics, fundamental stuff, and did a lot of work on passing and shooting and cutting and rebounding and playing better defense, all those kind of things. And I think the games we played is starting to show. We played much, much better. But I hope to be playing our best basketball going into this last month of the season down the stretch. And I want to get better and better until tournament time. And if we can improve a little bit more, I think we're going to be a viable candidate to have a shot to go further.
Yeah, just it all goes back to the fundamentals. Passing, shooting, rebounding, and when you do those well, generally you win a lot, and that's generally the way it turns out. And that's
really a simple game. It's really simple figuring out. You just gotta, you gotta out rebound. You gotta take care of the ball. You gotta play good defense, and you want to limit them to one shot, and you want to take good shots on your end, and at a high percentage shots, and play well together as a team, and work well together as a team. And I feel much, much better about our basketball team now than I did a month ago, or even before that. We've gradually gotten better and better, and I think we've still got some more room to go. But I feel like hopefully before it's over, we can be again a contender for going back to the national tournament.
Nice. And what do you think about the baseball team before opening day and all that in February?
I'm excited about our baseball team. We unlike the basketball team, we have a lot of people returning. Off of, we tied school record in season wins last year and lost in the finals to go back to the World Series last year. And I feel really good about what we have coming back. We've signed some really good arms. Of course, things have got to play out. You got to, injuries and people just, not having bad years. But if we play up to our potential, I feel like this might be a really nice ball club for us.
All right, Coach. Good luck on the diamond and good luck on the court the rest of the way.
Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate it.
And we will see you all next week from the Eagles Nest. Take care and aloha.